Anyway, we've got a picture here, Sirius A from skymap.org. And if you look at that, that is a terrible cutout. You can see the kind of orange cutout, the skin-coloured looking cutout there. It looks like my kid did it in kindergarten. Now, they would have had plenty of time to sort this out. This was 2007, so these photographs come from 2007, and this was done when the photo was uploaded. And with looking at Sirius and Google Sky and all the rest of them, why would they cut it out? Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, Sirius, it's a crazy thing. I'll give you an example here. I just feel like, you know, they're hiding something by doing that. So in this photo, you've got Sirius A, Sirius B, the relationship between them. You can, you know, sort of see the size difference in the slide that I showed you before. Sirius B is off to the side of the big one. So Sirius A is basically 10 times larger than our sun. It's 20 times as luminescent. So that's massive. That's like 20 times the burn of our sun. You know, that to me is crazy. Just, I can't comprehend sizes in the universe. It's weird. I really don't understand space at all anyway, but you know, that's pretty crazy. So it's the largest, most brilliant star in the hemisphere, and it's a blue-white star. Now, what kind of inspired me to do this one was the video I made of the Hopis, and I'm probably going to pronounce everything wrong because I'm not a Hopi. I'm, you know, just an Aussie, so I don't really know how everything's done. But the blue Kachina, that was my version of it, the blue Kachina. It's a big part of their prophecy, and it seems to refer to Sirius, just like, again, the Egyptians and the Mayans and everyone else, you know. So what's interesting about it, we've got things like 8.7 light years away from Earth. So that's quite close, within relative kind of universal things. Under 9 light years is pretty close. Most of the time when I hear about something, they're talking thousands of light years, which my brain can't even comprehend. I don't even know what they're talking about. It sounds weird. But anyway, so it's pretty close to us. Brightest star in the hemisphere that you'll look up to. So it's located in the jaws of the Great Dog, the Canis Major constellation. So everything in the photo that's on screen there, everything you can see behind it is a part of the Canis, you know, kind of star clusters. The Canis thing and calling it a dog star and everything is pretty significant, again, to all these prophecies and all this kind of stuff. And then the weird part is that it's visible, and I'm an Aussie, so Southern Hemisphere, so I don't know what the Northern Hemisphere is doing. I'm not really that interested, you know, I'll deal with my own, but most of the stats that I give are probably Northern Hemisphere, so we'll go with Northern Hemisphere. So it's in the evening sky from November to April, and then you won't really see it again. So it's towards the Orion's belt. I'll see if I can find a pretty picture of that. There we go. We've got that kind of stuff. So you can see Sirius as an example there. Now there's a link just being thrown up in chat. That link is to go to Skylab, which we can pull up. And we might as well do that now. I'll just throw in Skylab. All right, so this is live. So the link that's in the description or in the chat at the moment will give you the direct hit on Sirius. So this is Sirius. We're looking at it here. That's the weird cutout. Now, if I zoom in a bit, like, look how terrible that looks. That's a terrible cutout. Again, a kindergarten kid could have done better. But why did they put this cutout? That's fine. And what's this thing below it? Like, this thing's massive, like 10 times the size of our sun. And then you got this weird kind of spurty thing going on below it. All right, so we'll just zoom out of this thing a bit. Again, this is a live from Sky Map, I think this one is. So they went, well, I think I went in a little bit close to her. So this was Google Sky, had the exact same thing. Google Sky was interestingly shut down beginning of this year, 2024 beginning. So you won't be able to find this on Google Sky. I do have photos and, you know, that were taken before they took down Google Sky. But all these platforms, all these stargazing platforms have the same thing. They've got the big cutout. Like, that looks odd to me. Like, I'll zoom around. Like, there's nothing else anything like that near it, apart from this wacky thing. Now, I don't know what that is, and it's really hard to touch the marker for it to tell me what star or constellation or whatever that is, but that's getting a bit sidetracked, doesn't matter. Here we go, look at Sirius. Like, what the hell is going on? Nothing else, like everything else looks normal. Except for basically the closest, biggest thing to us. The thing you could pull out a telescope and have a look at, you know. So it's not like they're hiding this from anyone, but they are online on every single platform that I've found that's a stargazing one, all has this weird cutout. So this object is like, what, 10 times brighter than our sun or something, 20 times brighter than our sun, 10 times bigger, 20 times brighter. So I thought maybe it was just so bright that they had to put something in front of it because it was wrecking the gear that they were looking at it with. But that's not the case, because like they put this up and then they straight away did this dodgy cutout. When you see the sun, like you'll get pictures of the sun and they'll put a disc in front of the sun so we can see everything going on around it, and like to block out, you know, extreme exposure and stuff. So I get that. But the discs that they use normally on these kind of programs, they're like, you know, good. They're made for the purpose. So I'm just interested as to why that happens, why it's such a dodgy looking thing. And it's still here now. So this is 2007. They did this cutout crap. And I went looking online and there's really not a lot of information about why. So again, anyone knows anything, that'd be great. You just throw that in chat. All right, so that's the basics of Sirius. So A, B, C, there's different planets that all combine, that kind of thing. Now, there's lots of stuff said, like I've got some info in front of me. I'm not going to read it all out. It's a little bit boring. It just goes into kind of old mystical stuff and whatever. But at the end of the day, Sirius A and B are just amazing and weird. And the amount of stuff from the old dudes that they go on with is amazing. So Sirius B, which is kind of to the bottom right of this, and even if I zoomed in on this thing, I'd never be able to find it. Like if I zoom right in, it'd be down kind of bottom right. But anyway, I'm not going to go and try to find that live. It's just not going to work for me, I know it. Yeah, so Sirius A, the big one that we're seeing on screen there, it does a 50-year cycle. So it's an elliptic orbit. So every 50 years it does that kind of thing. Dragon tribes, we've got a fair few tribes that I'm just, you know, going through. I'm not going to talk about all the different tribes who followed this, but they seem to know about Sirius and Sirius B about 5,000 years ago. So well before, you know, we're talking well before anyone had a telescope. And they were seeing something next to Sirius. Like obviously you could see Sirius, you walk outside, have a look. It's just sitting there every night. You know, like, you know, that's how it works. I'll just go back to this sort of simple diagram thing here. So this would be, again, Northern Hemisphere. So you got Sirius up to the left there. And you can see that Sirius and Venus are about the same kind of, you know, glow to them. Yeah, so Sirius A and Sirius B, which is, it's not really its moon, but it does orbit it. You know, I'm just kind of reading. Again, I just threw this junk together. I'm not over planning when I come live and do this kind of thing. I'm just interested, you know, to see this kind of thing and to see if anyone else knows much about it. All right, I'm just kind of scrolling through a bit of stuff here and there. We'll see what we go. Yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail about anything much, but the main thing I'm picking on today is, you know, this cutout. Again, you should go and have a look. Like, this is skymap.org. Again, the link's there. You can play with it yourself. You can see what I'm talking about, and go on any of the others and have a look for yourself, because I just find it weird and interesting. And again, this is 2007, and now we're 2024, near the end of it, nearly 2025. And this is exactly how it's been left. So to me, that kind of tells me it was deliberately done. Maybe just when people notice to say, you know, WTF is that? And why was it done like that? Why is it so unprofessional? Deliberately. The amount of satellites that they use to map these, like the sky, like for Skynet and Google Sky and everything, they're amazing. Like, all right, you've got Slogan Digital Sky Survey, Digital Sky Survey Consortium. I won't bother sending all the links for these. NASA, ESA's Hubble telescope, NASA's Hubble telescope as well. They kind of go halves in it or whatever. Yeah, hi to the comments. Thanks for commenting and all. I'll try to answer any questions. But again, like, I'm just Mad Mats. I just get mad about stuff and get on here and yell. So, you know. All right, so what else we got? We got the Space Telescope Institute. All these people funnel all this information into these programs. So the shot we're seeing on SkyMap is like a combination of about seven different observatories. Actually, it's a bit more than that. And they all mash their data together to give us these massive maps of everything around us, which is, you know, good on them. But they've all got the same cutout. So I find that really strange. Wouldn't you think one of them wouldn't have this weird cutout? And I just, yeah, the cutout's just too weird. So we'll go back in and have a look at our little slidey thing, see if there's anything. All right, so here. All right. So you can kind of see the constellations here. We've got Sirius up there, and everything's major. So I think it's Canis Major. In the sky up there. So this planet goes behind the sun a lot. So it goes behind our sun. A lot of the prophecies and well, not even all, it's not all just prophecies. It's like, you know, the Egyptians and that kind of thing. That their new year begun with the star Sorbent, Saurus in Greek, Sirius in Latin. So the same thing we're talking about here. It rose early in the morning. It was known for a hectical rising. So you see Sirius, it gets the closest to the sun, and then it disappears from our view because it goes behind our sun. So it only comes out for, you know, so many months a year, which is also interesting that this seems to be the sun behind the sun. So our sun is a dot compared to this giant. And it seems to be like if the sun, like all the ancients worship the sun and that kind of thing. But I can see why they would have worshipped Sirius, because it's the sun of suns. It's massive. It's crazy compared to our sun, and it's blue and white. So like that's a temperature thing. You know, you turn on your gas stove, and orange like our sun is cool. You put on a welder and that spark is damn hot, and it's blue or white. So it's kind of showing, you know, the general viewer that it's spectacular. It's an amazing, it's got a lot of heat or whatever it's got. Now, I did have one person I was talking to who's a bit of an astronomer buff, like he knows a lot more than me. And he was telling me that it had waves, or it ripples. So it does some sort of funky thing. I'll see if I can find a photo of what he was showing me. All right, so something like this. So that kind of photo. So this ripple effect, that's a shot, like a time-lapse shot of Sirius, and it has like an elliptic orbit. I don't know if you'd call it that, but you can kind of see how it's to Earth, to the viewer. It doesn't just sit still in direct center. So if you put a time-lapse on, you get these weird kind of photos, and you can kind of see how that's emanating off the center of it. Don't even ask me what the blue stuff is shooting out of it. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of, I don't know. And again, like these photos are all pre-AI. So I don't really like pulling on photos because of AI, unless I can find them dated to more than 5 years ago, because pretty much nowadays, nothing you see you can trust, which is a real shame, but at the same time, it is a tool, and hopefully humans use it the right way and don't be a bunch of tool bags with it like most things. But anyway, so an interesting orbit that it has in relation to Earth. Like that kind of picture, again, it's time-lapse. It's not AI, it's time-lapse stuff. And the way it spins and everything it does is just unusual compared to everything else, you know, out there in the sky. And it seems to be that a lot of the ancient, like Egyptians and whatever, were more concerned about Sirius than they were our sun. Even though they worshipped our sun, they almost seem to be saying that it's not the life giver, our sun isn't, and that Sirius is, because it's just so much bigger, and it's blue and it's white, and it does all this other stuff. I don't want to ramble on for too long. Like, I don't want to, you know, confuse the whole topic. So my main thing today is talking about this thing, you know, like why did that happen? Why is that cutout so crap? There's so much to this. I could sit here for literally hours talking about each prophecy that talks about Sirius. I think everyone's heard the word Sirius. Like, you know, it's whether you understand what it was or not, but it's in everything I read. I've read a lot of books about, you know, Mayans, Aztecs, whoever. They always mention it. It's such a massive part. And the Hopi story that I did the other day, like it's just a video that took off, you know. Me and my wife, we're going to do a lot of lives and a lot of that sort of stuff. It's not always like this. Like Mad Mats is something I came up with basically yesterday, threw this production together, quickly sorted out my computer to throw all this gear on it. But what we're doing in the future will be videos like this. Like I enjoy stuff that's, you know, interesting, mind-bending even. But we do a lot of health, a lot of DIY was really what I did. But we decided, you know, the channel that we've got, Wheel in the World, it's a bit of everything, which doesn't really rank well with, you know, all the search engines and the social pages and stuff, because I think we're kind of confusing. But like, for example, tomorrow my wife will do tarot. And if you've not seen anyone who can hit the mark every time, just read the comments in that. And that's crazy. It's another weird thing, you know, we can't explain it. No one really knows much about it really. But, you know, people are very connected. And people seem to know stuff, like all the Egyptians and stuff. 5,000 years ago, they were talking about Sirius and realising that it had 2 other planets. Again, I don't want to go too deeply into it, but Sirius with the 3rd planet, the one that even scientists are a bit like, oh, I don't know, that's a bit iffy, dude. You know, that would make things like the astrology, the 13th, you know, sign and all that kind of stuff. So again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not an astrologer, I'm not an astrologist, I'm not any of those things. I'm just someone interested in weird stuff. So yeah, this kind of thing, I'll probably do maybe every week, every Saturday. Mindy will do her lives on Sunday, which is tarot and stuff like that. And during the week, we do post videos and whatever. We didn't plan on really doing lives at the moment, like yet. We were kind of aiming for next year, but you know, these are just a bit of practice, a bit of get out there kind of stuff and test the gear, because it's taken us a while to get gear that's, you know, usable. So anyway, I don't want to bore you all to death. I could go on with a few things. Like I have a video here which is an interactive, it's another Skylab kind of thing. And I was using Sirius as an example, having Sirius B orbiting around Sirius and seeing what the chances of a supernova were, because I'm still trying to work out why they did the dodgy cutout. Now, the astrologer friend telling me that it makes waves on its surface and they can't explain it. Well, to me, that's not a bad reason to cover it up. If science can't explain it, they're not really good at explaining much when I kind of, you know, listen to a lot of the stuff that goes on, and we all seem to be stuck around the Einstein science crap. You know, we can't seem to get beyond some basic rules that I'm sure can easily be broken, or pretty much Sirius itself could probably break those rules with, you know, if it supernovaed, I tell you, the stuff that'd fly here would come faster than light. But as an example of like just my idea of why they would do this dumb cutout thing, if it did ripple, like if it looked like a sun but it had waves just caressing all over the planet and they can't explain it, well, they got to hide it, because, you know, science doesn't like to look stupid. It likes to kind of overcomplicate things to the point where you can't understand what they're talking about. So being that said, I couldn't find any photos or videos of this ripple effect, apart from the one photo that I put up before, you know, which is, it doesn't really prove anything. It's a photo, and again, even before AI Photoshop's a thing, but apparently it's a true photo of the ripple effect of the planet. But then they're talking more about the planet actually having waves of energy, and that pours out into the universe. So that sounds pretty spectacular. Like our sun probably does the same, but it's probably not in the way that I was being told. Apparently it does that. And the guy I was talking to has very, very powerful telescopes, and he hates conspiracies too, so he's not really into it, but that was what he was telling me. And he also was saying that the luminescence of it is so strong that they might have just done the cutout to stop exposure into their cameras and their satellites and all their gear. Well, that kind of sounded fair enough, but why so amateur? It doesn't feel right to me. Now the video that's behind me, I won't over-explain what it was, but basically that's Earth, not looking really healthy at the moment. But basically what happened, that big cloud behind there, was the equivalent if Sirius B basically lost a lot of, was dripping energy into getting sucked into Sirius A, the big mama, that could create a supernova, which happens. I actually did a video the other day about another planet that was supernovaing. It does it every 80 years. And basically that's what happens. The two planets get really, really close and they start stripping each other of hydrogen and different things, and it creates thermonuclear reactions. So I'm not going to go into this video too much either because it actually goes for a long time. But that is Sirius A if it's supernovaed and the effects on Earth. And it goes for a bit and then it kind of ends not well. So it throws our spins out, it does all sorts of stuff, pushes us out of orbits, and moons are moving, and it'd be a drama. So I hope they're not got the cutout, because it's a possibility of this thing supernovaing. Again, it could have already supernovaed. Like, don't get me started on light years, because again, I don't know. I don't have a clue what's going on. But like 9 light years away, to me sounds like a long time. But in theory, that's 9 years, in theory. So if this thing supernovaed tomorrow, you know, we're not going to know for a while, you know. So it's kind of strange, the whole time in history, when you're looking at something that's actually history. Tonight, go out and look at Sirius, that's 9 years ago. So a bit strange. So if there was some big conspiracy, which I'm not really saying there is, like, you know, I'd rather not worry about conspiracies like that because it wouldn't end well for everyone, but maybe that's due, who knows. But yeah, even simulations of Sirius are pretty crazy. Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, you can see it was cut bloody oath. Yeah, all right, I'll just kind of scroll down there. So I'm just looking at chats. Again, if you know more than me, God, come in and tell me all about it, because I don't claim to know anything about Sirius. I've done like, you know, a couple of mornings, I get up pretty early in the morning, 5 o'clock or whatever, and I go searching for things that are interesting at that hour in the morning. And yeah, Sirius was this week's one. And again, from a video, which I might even put the video up at the end of this just so you can have a look at why I'm rambling on about Sirius and how I rabbit holed Sirius, because you know, next week I'll probably be on something else. But I'm still down the rabbit hole with this one because at the moment in the background I'm talking to other people who, I don't know, they know more than me, which probably isn't really hard, especially on topics like this. And they're getting a bit angry about it all at the moment. But yeah, no one can really explain it. So very strange. So I might just pull that thing off because I can even fast forward it. But yeah, if Sirius supernovaed, and if it was hidden for the fact that these ripples or whatever are a part of something prior to supernovaing, if I drag this video back, it might have the... Right, so there's Sirius. So I'll just do this little one bit. And you've got Sirius B running around it. You can see all that stuff getting dragged off Sirius. That's not good. So that's the shit. I hope it's not. And that just expands, and Earth, you know, it's around there somewhere, and shebang, that's the end of you in 9 years. You know, so be it. Anyway, that simulation is kind of long and boring and dragged out. But supernova, bad. For something that close to us, most things that supernova are 5,000 light years away, 100,000 light years, millions of light years away. So I'm not too worried about a supernova a million years away, but 9 years away, yeah, that'll be a little bit different. You know, and again, light years. What's a light year? Just crazy stuff. Science. All right, I dropped a few notes. I'm just going to check some notes, and I do thank you for comments and watching and that kind of thing. I don't over push people for anything, but if you want to watch this kind of craziness from Mad Max, on probably a Saturday I might choose. We haven't set anything in stone yet. Throw a subscribe in. Do that kind of thing, as it helps the channel and whatnot. Comments help the channel, even if you all get into a big fight. That's good for me. I don't mind. So, all right. So, yeah, my notes are a little bit long, and it's not really for today. It's I might come back after doing a bit more research myself, because I only spoke to someone an hour ago who knows a lot more than me, and he's just sent me a treasure trove of info, and I've got to go through that before I could really say much. But anyway, main part of the video was get on sky.map.org. There's the link in the description there. Have a look for yourself. This is live. Why is it so weird? Why do they do these things to me? Gets me up in the morning too bloody early thinking about stupid crap. And I don't know what that spurt is at the bottom. I just, at 6 o'clock to Sirius, what is that? What is that? And why is it there? I just don't know. The Hopi prophecy, the man in the red hat, is mentioned in this prophecy, which specifically refers to a red cap, hat or gown worn by a leader on the North American continent. In a thought-provoking video shot decades ago in 1972, a prophecy emerges that resonates with our current societal dynamics. This prophecy speaks of a nation on the North American continent led by a figure wearing a distinctive red hat. Many have speculated about the meaning behind the red hat, notably the one famously worn by Donald Trump. The specificity of this prophecy is both intriguing and chilling. The vision of a pivotal nation. The prophecy describes a powerful nation with millions of people and advanced technology. It suggests that this leader, adorned with a red cap or hat, will play a crucial role in a significant transformation. However, this power comes with the potential for self-destruction, as they may shake us up real hard and nearly destroy themselves. The prophecy foretells that despite the turmoil, a new generation will emerge from the chaos, marking a transformative period. The dark skies and coming forces. However, the prophecy does not end on a hopeful note. It speaks of dark skies filled with ships descending upon the earth. The old man speaks of people raining from the sky, suggesting an invasion or sudden appearance of a dominant power. In a single day, these forces are expected to seize control of the entire continent, marking a dramatic shift in power dynamics. The age of purification, the Hopi prophecy emphasizes a period of purification, urging us to reconsider our relationship with the land and its resources. According to the prophecy, when these beings arrive, humanity will be divided into groups based on their actions and stewardship of the earth. The consequences for those who have harmed the land will be severe, while those who have sought to protect it will be given a chance to rectify their wrongs. A call to action. This message is particularly timely as we witness changes in leadership, such as the emergence of figures like RFK, who aim to restore health to the land through regenerative organic farming and environmental stewardship. The prophecy serves as a reminder that we must not only acknowledge our past mistakes, but actively work towards healing the planet. The clock is ticking. As the prophecy suggests, the urgency to act is palpable. We cannot afford to be passive observers. Instead, we must engage in meaningful actions to restore balance. The time for reflection is over. Now is the time for decisive action. Share the message. This video, which encapsulates the essence of the prophecy, deserves to be shared widely. It is crucial for individuals, especially those in positions of influence, to understand the gravity of this message. The Hopi people's call for action resonates with the need for collective responsibility in healing our planet. In conclusion, as we navigate these uncertain times, let us heed the wisdom of the Hopi prophecy. Together we can work towards a future that honours the earth and its resources, ensuring a balanced and sustainable existence for generations to come.